Welcome to part 3 of this video, and in this part we will be focusing on short circuit analysis using ETAP. We already have designed our system and we were able to run the load flow analysis and analyze different load parameters of this system. Now we will be moving on towards the short circuit analysis, which is done by this short circuit tab. We go on to the short circuit tab. Here we are seeing different options. Now, one thing that we need to understand is that whenever we are performing short circuit analysis of a system, there are three resulting values. The first one is the subtransient value, the second one is the transient value, and the third one is the steady state value. And this is a figure showing these three values. The subtransient value occurs in the very initial few cycles 0.5 to 1.5, where the value of short circuit current is highest due to the presence of a DC component. Then we have transient period or the transient values, which are intermediate and they occur between 1.5 to 4 cycles, and then the short circuit values further decrease and the lowest values are found beyond 4th cycle, which are called steady state values. Now we can analyze all these 4 values, but first what we need to do is we need to make any bus faulty. Now let's go analyze that. We want to make this bus 3 faulty. It was initially faulty. Now I click on this bus and select the fault button. So this bus will become red, showing that this bus has been made faulty. Now we can analyze this maximum value of fault current. Like this is giving option: run 3-phase line to line, line to ground, and double line to ground for half cycle. Similarly, we have 1.5 to 4 cycles, which is basically the transient value, and then we have 30 cycle, which is the steady state value. Now if I click this maximum value, it is giving me a short circuit current of total 0.789 kiloamperes with a phasor angle of 87.1 degrees, and it is also showing the contributions from both the generators. From this display button, I can select which value I want to find out. Right, this one was the maximum fault current. Here we go, and this is showing which value we want to find out. Like we want to have the value for 3-phase, or we want to have the value for line to ground. And if we are doing line to ground fault analysis, that is single line to ground, whether we want to see the values in terms of zero sequence current, this 3I0 is the zero sequence current and phase voltages, or we want it in terms of sequence values, that is the positive, negative or zero sequence values, or we want it in terms of phase values. Similarly, when we are doing line to line, we can also view it in these three forms, and line to ground, again we have these three options. So at the moment, let's select single line to ground fault, and I want to select the first option. So it is showing me that the system voltage is 67 kilovolts and the total current is 1.06 kiloamperes. Now if I change this, like I want to see the values of sequence components. Now it is showing the values of sequence components, that this 0.177 kiloampere is the positive phase sequence, and then we have the negative sequence, and the last one we have the zero sequence. And since we know that in a single line to ground fault current, the positive, negative and zero sequence currents are equal, this is also being displayed by the short circuit analysis. Now let's go on to select a line to line fault, or keeping the same for single line to ground, we want to select the phase values. Now it is showing that one phase, the phase which has been grounded, has the highest value of current, that is 1.06 kiloamperes, and the remaining two phases have almost zero current. Right? Now let's go on to the line-to-line fault, and here we can see the currents. Now let's go on to a line-to-line fault, and here we can see that the current is zero. Why it is zero? Because we are only displaying as the zero sequence current, and we all know that in case of a line-to-line fault, the zero sequence current does not exist. So if we select the sequence values of currents, now it is showing that the positive sequence current and negative sequence currents are present in the system, whereas the zero sequence current is not present. We can also judge the type of fault by analyzing these values. Like in this particular case, the positive and negative sequence values are present and the zero sequence value is absent, which means that the type of fault is line to line. Similarly, we can also perform the subtransient fault analysis in the same manner. Like we just go on to the value and select any type of fault, and accordingly it will display the values, or steady state analysis in the same manner, right? We can also adjust its settings, like here it is showing different IDs and ratings of the generator, like which ones are contributing and the contributions we need to see. And we can also select whether we are which AC components we are selecting and which DC components we are selecting. And we can also have a user defined theme for the colors, like values will be displayed in which color, bus voltages will be displayed in which colors, AC buses will be displayed in which colors, the results will be displayed in which colors, right? We can also have a short circuit report from this point, like the report manager, and we need to have a complete, let's say complete line to ground fault report, where the input is the branches for which we want to see the values, individual contributions. The result is we want, at the moment we want a short circuit line to ground report, and here we can select different formats for the output, like we can select it as PDF, Word, Excel, or any format. So when I generate this report, now it is showing that this is our system layout, and the second one, untitled short circuit report, is showing the contribution of each bus and the percentage voltage at each bus, the current from the bus, and the sequence currents, that is positive, negative, and zero sequence currents in kiloamperes. So that brings an end to this part. In this part we learned how can we analyze transient, subtransient, and steady state values for different types of fault currents in power system, that is a three-phase fault current, single line to ground fault current, double line to ground fault current, and line to line fault current. That brings an end to this video, and in the next part we will be covering about protection designing of electrical power systems. Till then, it's goodbye.